Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Access profile. Like this determines what kind of access you can have. Example, there are like two items you need to understand. One is function access profile and one is display access profile. Function access profile is basically what functionalities the employee can have access to, like whether the employee can have access to administration. No, and the employee should be having access only to time card functionality. Nothing apart from that. He needs to be able to see what time he has swiped in and out and the functionality to request time offs. That's it. But the managers, on the other hand, they should have access to the time cards, time off function, and also the facility to search the employees to approve their time card. So they need those more functionalities. So we will create different function access profile and display access profile based on that, and we'll map it out. Okay, so creation, everything happens again here. We have a separate model called access profile where we'll define what is a function access profile and what is a display profile. Display profile comes under display preferences. Okay, so here we will be creating these items, but the mapping is happening here. Okay. So the local policy and notification profile, these are not important because we can have even it can be. Mostly it's done for the people. And notification profile, it's not mandatory. Like we can. It's like by standard it will have maybe email only or email inbox. This is specifically will assign only to the managers. To know that if someone is raising a request to him, he'll be able to see it in the top of his time card. Here he'll have this place. There will be a notification icon where he can click on it so that it will show a notification if someone has submitted a vacation request. We'll show you, we'll take you through. When we log in as a manager, we'll be able to see it. Okay, so that's all about the access profile. These are the mandatory ones, but these will have a huge chunk of items. These are like a standalone items. This is specifically very minimal items, but these two are very big. If you see here itself, we can see that access profile have these many sub items, or display profile have these many sub modules to build it out. So it will be vague for maybe first few days because we'll just go through the intro items and you are new to the system. It will be quite clumsy for you to understand these items, but moving on, after maybe first 10 sessions, you'll get like some grip onto it so that from then on you'll be able to catch up with me on what we are exactly doing. Even it took for me 2 to 3 months to understand what Kronos is. So with our session progressing, so that is the reason I'm not slightly jumping into setups. It will completely confuse you. Why we are doing this? What is the need for this? Like you'll be confused. So first let's see how it is mapped. Like where it is mapped, what it does. Then we'll go on, we'll have a requirement and we'll create it based on that. This is how normally they take a fresher and they train them into Kronos. This is how the knowledge transfer KT happens. They will first ask you to sit in the system and play around it. Then they will tell you this is what, this is what. This is how you should navigate. Then, very lately only, they will start with giving you access to create something in setup. So now let's go to the next item, which is employer. This is also an important one. Here we will have, what we will have is what access we can have. Like we will have in pay policies, we will create different pay codes and different work rules. So out of that, what pay codes like? Currently we have given all pay codes, but we can also restrict. We can say, okay, only these pay codes you should have access. We can create a folder and give a name to it. And we can map it here so that only these 5 codes the employee will be able to access. Normally for an employee, he should not be having access to all the pay codes. He should be having vacation, sick or floating holiday, whatever the leaves he is going to take, only that. So we'll create a particular like that, okay, how early employees. We'll create under the name how early employees and we'll map it here. So you create it from the option new, like how do you pay policy. Yeah, we'll create the pay codes in the pay policy. And the pay code access profile is created under access profile. Okay. So this will cover it up. After pay policies and across, next item will be access profile and next to that will be display preferences. So here is where we will create the pay code access profile and go through access profile. What it's like a folder. All the pay codes will create in pay policies. Then after that we will go to this access profile and pay code access profile and this item. Once we click on this, we just need to create a folder. It's kind of folder kind of thing. If you click on new and say like probably a car something, and we'll need to select from the existing pay code what pay code we need to be, who we are going to put in this particular folder. So now you will get to understand like why we are starting with the pay policies. So that is where like, because I cannot directly take you to access profile, because first I need to teach you what is pay code, what is work rule. Only then you will be able to understand when I go through access profile. Okay, this is pay code access, right? So that's all about the person tabs. So we are clear with the personality data. Now let me take you through quickly into this particular time card and we'll wind up the session for today. So this is how the time-based time card will look like. You can select an employee, double click on him, it will take you to his time card. Or you can select an employee, click on go to and click on time cards. It will again take you to the employee's time card. Or you can click on the employee and select timekeeping. So, the timekeeping will not take you to there, but this two option, double click or click on go to time card will take you to the time card. Similarly to people editor, you can select an employee, click on people editor and click on edit, or the easiest way for doing everything is click on employee, click on go to. And here if you click on people, it will take you to people editor again. Now we are going to see the time cards. The time card. This is how an employee's time card would look like. Like what shift he is in? That's what we call disaster do. So currently we don't have anything mapped here. So he's from 8 am to 10 am shift. So for 8 am to 10 am shift when he has punched in, okay, he's punched in at 8.05. When he has punched out, He has punched out at 6:05 p.m. Okay, then what is his total hours for today? He has worked 9.5 hours. These items will be available here, okay? And also the exception C, the employee has no schedule. That means he is not assigned to any shift. If he is punching in for that day, it will show him as unscheduled. He is not scheduled to work, but he has worked on that. So this is basically how a time card looks like, and we have a few other items in the time card. So once you click here, you can see totals. First item, totals is like it will give you the total hours. So for this guy with the payroll, he has been attached. He has worked 9.5 hours and the system is giving him 8 hours of regular and 1.5 hours of 41.5. So the manager or the administrator can go in and see for a single day or for multiple days or for a full pay period. Okay, so here and again another item I missed to tell you, this particular calendar and date item. So here if you see, this time card is selected only for this week to date. You can change it up. We can select current pay period. So if he is a bi-weekly employee, it will give you current 2 weeks. Yeah, he is a bi-weekly employee and it gives you 2 weeks of the time card schedule. What is which is current pay period? It starts on day 22 and ends on even 6. If you click on previous pay period, it will take you to the previous pay period. So that time range, you can see what the employee has punched in. And if you want to select a specific date page, you can click on the calendar icon and select whatever the dates you want. You can select it for 1 year or 2 years. Whatever you want, you can do it. So clear on this item. And we have seen totals like this employee for this day. He has 8 hours and 1.5 hours of daily. This is showing for the whole current pay period. If you want to see only for one date, you can click on daily. Daily, and you need to click on the dates. So if you see 10/23, there is no date. 12, it will show you the data for only that date. Okay, so that's about the totals. And next we have here, we have the accrual projections. This is the area which will show you how much accruals he is eligible for. Like this, employee has only two types of accruals, vacation and sick. And how many hours he currently has is available under available balance. He has 80 hours of vacation and 240 hours of 240 hours of vacation and 80 hours of sick. So as soon as he takes a leave, leave. There is a separate process where the employee would be raising a time of request and manager would be approving it. Or the manager will be directly going here and putting the pay codes for the employee. And vouchering the vacation 8 hours. You need to put the pay code and also enter the amount. This is how we like, rather than punching in, we can use this also to complete it in. Because if an employee is absent, he is not going to punch in or punch out. He'll just voucher vacation and number of hours to it. Only if an employee is working, he will be putting punches. Yeah, so the 8 hours means like his one full shift. It depends again. I have assumed this is an 8 hours employee because just an assumption. Because first 8 hours he's getting, like if you see because 1.5 is like overtime. So I assume it's going to be like 8 hours, but the managers will know what he's in for, right? Whether he's 8 hours or 10 hours or 2 hours employee. So based on that, vacation hours also will be different. And now if you see, we have vouchered 8 hours. So if you go to 10.25, the vacation will switch from 240 to 232. That means it's debited. 8 hours are debited. So it will show you the current balance, what it is. In 2010, before we got 8.240, and if you click on 1025, it will show you the exact same value, what he has on that. Right? Yeah, so this is more about the time card. And if a manager wants to review an employee's time card and then approve it, he can click on the like he can go. He can search the employee, go to his time card. And from here also, we have the option to approve the time card as well as sign up the time card. This particular option of approval is for bulk approvals. They can select all. In a single shot, they can go ahead and approve it. This is to review the time card. So there are some departments will have some issues with the timings they're clocking in and clocking out. So if the manager wishes to review each one, he can come here, review and then approve the time card. Clear. Right. Here we are more concerned about accruals and totals. Audits is nothing but whatever the changes we have done here, that will be audited here. See, here we have added. First, what we did is we added one punch here and one out punch here, then an application with 8 hours. Everything is captured here. I have added a punch on AM 5:30 PM for this date. Then again for 0.25, I have added a pay code. Vacation with 8 hours. When I have done this, everything is done on today 10.27. And what time? 8:34 PM of my time who has done it. My username which I have logged in superuser. And the data source. This is to determine whether the punches came directly from the clocks or devices or we have done it manually. So these punches I have entered it manually, so it states time card editor. But if the punches directly comes from the swipe in or swipe out, it will show us a server. Or some IP address will be there so that it comes from this particular clock or this particular machine. Yeah, that's all for all the details what you have with the temp card and the people editor. We have covered it up. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.